Bullshit. You are the numbers person when you start off. Every dollar counts. I sleep really well at night because I know that our GST's always aside, our tax account's always aside, and everything's always done in the right spot.
You know, one week you'll look like you made a heap of cash, and the next week you'll pay your PFD invoice and it'll be, you know, $10,000 and you'll have made no money.
We usually find when people come into the coaching is that they're so far behind, we spend the first 18 months just catching them up.
And I generally say to people, just get moving.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the next installment of the Foodie Coaches Startup Series. Now, if you don't know who I am, I'm Tim Kummerfeld, and today I'm joined by Kylie, Katie, she's also known by, but let's just call her Kylie today. She is our bookkeeping partner in our accounting firm. Yes, we own an accounting firm as well. Some people out there don't take hospitality advice from your accountants, 100% don't, but when we're experts, it's okay. So today we're joined by Kylie. Now, if you're following along in this series, you know we're talking about how to start up your business the best possible way and do all the right things to get you the results that you want so you don't find yourself in trouble in 6, 12, 18 months, 2 years time. And now, if you're watching this and you're like, well, man, I'm already started up and I've got my shit sorted, great. Maybe put it on double speed and you might learn some fun stuff. So today we're going to talk about what we need to do to keep our records right, our compliance right, and make sure we just don't get in a world of stuff, because we've been there before. I certainly haven't been because I was an accountant, but we see a lot of people get there. They get through their first quarter, their first half year, they got to lodge a BAS, and then next minute, it's like,
I've got to reconcile.
I've got to pay all this PAYG and tax, and oh, the ATO is killing me with this GST, it's ridiculous. And it's not ridiculous, it's just because no one's ever given you the tools or shown you the function that you need to put away the cash to make it happen.
Okay, yes.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay, but what we want to do today is we're going to draw some stuff out. So, Kylie, you can choose a color. I kind of like the blues and the oranges. I like to use the red one when people are losing money. I like to use the bright green ones when people are making money. So tell me something, when someone's starting up, so we're a person, I've got this shiny new business, I'm so excited, I've got my concept right, I know what my fit out's gonna do. What's step number one? Now, bearing in mind with the accountants, we'll talk about the structures, but let's talk about record keeping, bank account setup. What should we be doing to make sure that we're set up and we don't end up looking like total idiots when it comes to end of quarter tax time? What do we have to do?
Pick an accounting software.
Pick an accounting software. Number one, pick an accounting software. Now, talk to me about the accounting software. What options we got? We've got Xero, spelled with an X. Yep. Obviously, there's MYOB. Number two, Reckon, QuickBooks. Now, if you're in America, everyone loves QuickBooks. That's the one.
Yeah.
If you're in Australia, no, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Your preference is Xero?
Preference is Xero.
Why is that?
Well, most accounting firms now run on a Xero practice manager, and it imports the data straight away, which reduces the price of your tax return, ultimately.
Yes, okay, so it's cheaper for tax?
Yep.
Why else?
Oh, it's user-friendly. It's user-friendly.
Cheaper, user-friendly.
That's pretty much it.
It's,
you can pick it up and...
I was going to say, it's online, says the accountant who hasn't been an accountant for like 10 years. Because they're all online these days. I like Xero, I think it's easy to use. And also, cost-wise, what's the cost add up?
Xero's dearer.
Is it?
Yeah, Xero is dearer. QuickBooks is quite cheap, which is why a lot of people lean that way, but it will chew up more of your time. So it'll cost you from a time point of view. So
QuickBooks is cheaper, but it's going to cost you from a time point of view. I think MYOB is probably built for bigger businesses.
Yeah, we don't see it much these days.
Nope, and Xero is the go in hospitality. Most hospitality friendly. Great. So we've got Xero set up. Next.
It integrates with a lot of our software.
Okay, that's great. What's the next step?
Well, from that, I would make sure you've got your bank accounts and your bank accounts are connected from day one.
Okay, so talk to me about the bank accounts. Bank accounts, bank. Let's do the bank. We'll just, yep.
Bank.
So what bank accounts do we want? This is your opportunity to draw. Every time I get guests on, they get a bit afraid of like, when do I draw? It's okay.
Those windows had me.
The architect was smoking some stuff. Bank accounts, what bank accounts should we be opening up and what does that look like?
We'd like a few. So at a minimum, we need an OPEX account, okay?
What is OPEX?
That's where we're going to put all our operational expenses.
Okay, can we write that down?
Yeah.
All right, so talk to me about OPEX. What the hell is an OPEX?
Those are our operational expenses, okay? So we categorize things differently into, I won't go into too much detail here, our cost of sales, and then we have operational expenses, okay? So sometimes we like to set up our bank accounts so that we can isolate funds.
Oh, okay. So this is about setting up so we've got money coming in. So where do we want our F plus money going into?
So we would like an income account.
Okay, income account.
So in here, we're going to have an income account, and that's where our FPOS is going to get banked. Our cash will get banked in here weekly. Any Uber Eats, any, booking platforms, anything like that, all go in here.
Okay, all right. And then what else?
Well, we could get quite complex in here, but I like to keep it super simple at the start. So OPEX, income, and then a GST account and a PAYG account.
So that's the opportunity to write
now
in the same account.
Yeah, I like them in the same account.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So this forms our money that we're going to put aside for our BAS every quarter. That's why I like them together.
Yep.
Now, we could get a bit technical, go one step further and put a tax account in here.
Okay, so if you're like already set up and you're like, oh, I get it, set up a tax account now. If you're not, put away money. So can we put tax account there? I think set up a tax account. I personally like tax accounts because I know, because Kylie does all of my personal stuff, business stuff, pretty much runs my life. But let's be honest, I sleep really well at night because I know that our GST's always aside, our tax account's always aside, and everything's always done in the right spot.
Yeah, 100%. So the tax is a little trickier to work out regularly, but maybe we'll touch on that later down the road on how we calculate what we put in there.
Okay, fantastic. So bank accounts, so we set up our bank accounts, we set up MYOB, we connect them together.
Yes, we're going to make sure that all these bank accounts are connected to our accounting software from day one.
Okay, talk to me about bank preferences. Do you have any bank preferences? Which bank? Commonwealth Bank? No.
It's actually not Commonwealth.
It's definitely not Commonwealth. Oh, it might be Commonwealth. And this isn't any advertising on Commonwealth banks.
What I do like, so when I set up here about the income account, a problem that we have now is the ability to bank cash, okay? So I have a lot of venues in remote locations that struggle to bank cash because not all banks take cash anymore.
Okay.
So it's about having someone near you that you can deposit your cash into because depositing your cash weekly is super important. So we need to be able to get that cash in the bank. So I would pick whichever bank allows you to do that.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Great. From an internet banking point of view, what banks do you like from your user platform?
I've got some dislikes. The big four are always easy to use, okay? The littler guys are a bit harder. We struggle with the loading of the payments and things like that, but I would stick to like the Westpacs, the NABs.
Yeah, the big four, do work with whatever bank you're already with.
Yeah.
I personally like the usability of Westpac.
I like that I can walk into Westpac and talk to someone. I've never had that in another bank.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we chose our file, we've got the setup. What's next?
Well, we need to put some information.
Okay, talk to me. What do you mean information?
So if we're going to use Xero, for instance, we need to make sure that we are keeping on top of our, let's call it just information for now. So we need to make sure we are putting our invoices in each week and we're reconciling our bank account each week.
Okay.
So obviously we need information to do that. Okay, so the one way we get our information into, say, a Xero is to have a software to do it. A software that we can have on our phone and we could, fuel the car at the servo and snap a photo. Or if the milkman comes to the venue and drops the milk off, we can email the invoice over. Okay,
so obviously if you're a bigger business, you can use someone, like there's a bunch of different people here, like Restokes and those kind of guys, they do that?
Yeah, okay, so we could use a Restoke, but that is for people that are probably a step up, because Restoke has multiple features, okay?
Okay, so bigger business.
Yeah, we're talking food costing, process management, all types of things in Restoke. So it is for people that are looking for multiple solutions, all right?
I would probably suggest if you're starting up and you've already got multiples and using Restoke, keep using it. If this is your first time, I think you're gonna lose a lot more time doing this shit like this at the start.
Yeah, it's complex.
Yeah, I think you're gonna lose time. So what's the cheapest way? What's the easiest way for someone to get off the bat?
Well, I've got another one that I usually recommend. It is called Dext. Now,
Dext.
Yeah, so the reason I recommend Dext is because it has a lot of really great automations in it. And it has a lot of AI and OCR built into it now, which will save you time. So it is a paid platform, probably cost you about $20 a month, but it has a lot of time savings in it.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it is probably my favorite. However, there's a free version. So HubDoc is our free version.
Yes.
It comes in your Xero subscription.
Oh, so you get it in Xero.
You get it in Xero for free. So it does the same thing as Dext, it just doesn't have as much automation in it. And one of the things that we
When
do...
you say automation, what does that mean?
So say Dext gets a PFD invoice, right?
Yes.
And it's $2,000 long and it's got packaging and it's got protein and it's got bakery and it's got all the things.
Yes.
It automatically splits it line by line. And it will remember if we put the bread to bakery last week, it will do it again.
All right. So what Kylie's talking about here is that you're going to get multiple items on an invoice. And the next thing we're going to talk about is setting up chart of accounts. And when we set up your chart of accounts, and we might give you an example on what that looks like to set up also. What we're going to do is we're going to set up a new chart of accounts, and it's going to help you track different items in your profit and loss in different ways. And it's really nice to get a really nice snapshot. So what Kylie's talking about is Dext is going to automatically split these things out. So your bakery goes to one thing, your protein goes to another thing, your fruit and veg goes to somewhere else, dry goods goes somewhere else, right? Packaging goes somewhere else. And it really helps at a really high level for you to go, okay, cool, I've just spent $20,000 this year in packaging.
Yes, 100%.
HubDoc won't do that.
HubDoc can do it, but it's manual. You have to sit there and go, add line. And then put the value in.
Okay.
Add line.
So my suggestion is, if you're tight, start with HubDoc, but I'll just for $20 a month, I'll use Dext, right?
It'll save you hours of your day.
Okay, fantastic. So we've got MYOB set up, we've gone to the bank, we've got the bank account set up, which I promise you, if you're in a company with a trust as a shareholder, you're going to learn that's a pain in the ass. And then we've got so this is going to help track our data, because our data, the better quality data that you have, the better quality decisions that you're going to be in a situation to make.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
And I really push this point at the start because it's the best habit to start from day one. Because once it's a habit, you just do it.
Yes, and let's talk about habits, because the people who live in their numbers, I promise you, are the more successful venues. I don't care if you're afraid of numbers. I don't care if you're, I'm not the numbers person, my accountant does that. Bullshit. You are the numbers person when you start off. Every dollar counts. Yep. Okay, next.
So we have to put these somewhere. Okay. So we're going to get all these invoices. We're going to send it over to our, say, Dext every week.
Yes.
And we need to do our data entry.
Okay, now invoice, do you have one account for invoices? How does that work? Like an email account, phone number? Because I feel like if you start getting all these invoices everywhere.
Yes. No, we often, so the rule is we always have an email address dedicated to the accounts. Okay. So step number 4, accounts email.
This will help you keep all of your stuff separate. And your rule is everything goes to this accounts email, correct?
Yes.
Everything. So don't let someone come in and drop you a paper invoice. What's your team going to do? They've got to email it as well.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing I usually say here is, if you want to get paid, you have to send it to the accounts email. And that usually gets everyone emailing it to the right place.
Yeah, and what you need to understand, the more structure you give people, the more that they're going to respect your own process.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
So everything goes to the accounts email. From there, we're going to process it through one of our platforms over to Xero.
Yep, okay.
And that's where we need to talk about our chart of accounts.
So your chart of accounts. Now, when people set up chart of accounts, you can get someone to do this for you. I'm assuming MYOB does it.
Yeah, we have a standard chart of accounts that I issue across all the bookkeeping clients.
Is that giveawayable?
It can be giveawayable.
Really?
Yeah.
How hard is it to giveawayable?
If you ask nicely.
We're going to put the link below. If you need those chart of accounts, you can actually get on a chat with Kylie, and Kylie's going to help you. So we're going to link you through to Kylie direct chat on the bottom here. We'll sort out a link.
Yeah.
And she can just chat with you if you've got any questions. How about that?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to write COA here. That stands for chart of accounts.
All right.
Okay.
What are chart of accounts? And then if you want those chart of accounts, message Kylie. But high level, how do we need to set up?
We want to think about how we're bringing in our income.
Yes.
We want to think about how we're bringing in our cost of sales.
Cost of sales, which is all these costs here, which we're doing there, correct?
Well, our cost of sales are directly relate to how we drive our income.
Okay.
As I don't want to sound nerdy, but think of it as your labor for making your coffee or your pineapple to put on your sandwich. Your things that directly go into your product that you sell go into your cost of goods sold.
What do we call them in America? It's prime cost?
Yes.
Prime cost. So yes. Americans prime cost, in Australia cost of goods, and they're variable. So they're the things that will mainly go up and down, which is directly related to you producing an income. So food cost, oil for the fryers, labor. Anything fixed won't go into that. That's more of a fixed cost.
Yeah, here. So everything else goes down here. Okay. And the one thing that I usually say when we're talking about income is to think about how you want to look at it. if you're going to split your cogs into coffee and, front of house, back of house, then have your income match. So think about how you want to analyze your sales.
What do you want to see?
Yeah, what do you want to see? And structure it that way.
Yeah, and this, we work with some big pubs and clubs and, those guys, it's like, front bar, back bar, functions income.
Yeah.
Restaurant income, pokey income.
Some bars will split it into beer, wine, cocktails. Like they split it right down. I probably wouldn't recommend that from day one, but you get the idea of what we're saying.
Yep.
Okay, so understanding this and setting this up is our next step, because setting this up reflects our P&L. So how we set this up is how we're going to review our P&L every week, okay? So
when you say P&L?
Our profit and loss.
Profit and loss. That's the report that shows you if you're making money or not.
So in the States, that's your income statement. The way we set up our chart of accounts controls our profit and loss, okay? So it's very important that we spend some time on our chart of accounts because it gives us better data. And the reason that I like the Dext for the data entry is because it gives us that line-by-line data entry, which then gives us more data into our P&L to make decisions on.
Sometimes what happens is when you start off, people like to really overcomplicate reporting in a situation, and what that leads to is like a fight or flight. And our brain gets overloaded, and what we do is we just tend to ignore it. What happens is when we ignore it, all this goes bad. So if we're having these conversations and this is like blowing your mind, all I want you to do is reach out to Kylie. You can talk about us doing it for you, or you can talk about her showing you this COG statement. You can set up this and then you can point it there, and it's going to work really simple for you.
Yeah. Just
when it's the first time you've done it before, it gets a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now we've got an income statement or a profit and loss sorted in our chart of accounts. What's next?
I would like to talk about what I have set up with all our bookkeeping clients is a reporting rhythm. And just to be clear, the accounting firm was founded to give the coaching members their best numbers to then get their best results out of the program. So we have a reporting rhythm, a tight reporting rhythm, so that the members know when to have their data in, when they need to have all their jobs done, so that they can pull their profit and loss every week and complete their KPI statement.
Can we go one step up? And I know we're talking about a reporting rhythm, but can we just talk about a full rhythm in general? Because I would imagine like the reporting rhythm's the output of what your team already does. So if someone's doing this themselves or they want to do it themselves, or even they've got a bookkeeper now, can we talk about the rhythm of what gets people the best results? And maybe we can do the stages. We're going to bust a rhythm. I think if it's not spelt properly, I'm not here to do spelling
I don't know
lessons.
if that's a letter, so it could be right. Okay, so I actually tend to work backwards when I talk about this rhythm because I want to understand what day do you want to look at your P&L, and I work backwards from there. So in the program, we have our finance call on a Wednesday. So people generally tend to do their KPIs on a Wednesday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Finance Wednesday. So they come to the Wednesday call, they ask their questions, and then they go and do their KPIs. Okay. Oh. So we often aim to have our P&L completed on Wednesday. Okay.
Right. So what Kylie's saying is you're going to set up a certain activity to do on each day to make sure that this gets done, and this forms your financial habit.
Yes.
And healthy habits.
Yes.
So we pick a day for reporting day.
Yeah. Let's call it Wednesday.
Okay. Reporting day.
Yes.
Yep. And do you want to call it Wednesday? There we go.
Let's call it Wednesday.
Yep. That's the day everything's got to be done.
So we have to have a few things done to be able to pull a P&L on this Wednesday and it be accurate to look at our KPIs or just our P&L. So to make that happen, we need to have pushed all our receipts and our invoices through our process here into Xero. Okay. So I generally say, if you have someone in the team that does buying, or someone walks across the road and buys ice, we need to communicate to the team that Sunday afternoon is the cutoff. You all need to have your receipts in HubDoc by Sunday afternoon.
Okay. So you choose a cutoff date.
Yeah. Choose a cutoff date for all the expenses to be received into your platforms.
Okay, now I want to be really clear around a cutoff date. The perfect thing around a cutoff date is you communicate it to everyone, and if they don't have their invoice in by then, that's not your problem, that's them problem. And if you don't do this right, what's going to happen is you're going to be finding every single day, you're going to be entering in invoices, every single day you're going to be making payments every single day, and it's going to take up your time. And even the builder who did the reno here, he knew that if he didn't have his bill into us on Thursday afternoon, there was another week later until he got paid, because if he missed that Thursday,
that's cut off.
It's cut off. And then so it goes into next Thursday. That's what happens. Yep. Now, if you're starting out, you might not have that much pull with suppliers and they just might not supply you. But over time, they're going to do it. So cut off date, pick a date.
Yeah, pick a date and stick to it. I generally, if you're open 7 days, I generally say Sunday afternoon because you're still trading. So there's every chance there's still expenses in there.
Okay, so if we were doing reporting on a Wednesday, cut off date Sunday.
Yes, Sunday.
Great.
Okay, all that information needs to be in. From there, we need to reconcile our bank account. All of the days leading up to our reporting end date, say we're reporting Monday to Sunday, the bank account for that period needs to be reconciled, okay? So we need to get in and reconcile that whole week. Mm-hmm. So I would say that's a Monday job.
I disagree, but that's okay.
Or a Tuesday job?
Rick, I love the idea of reconciling every single day.
In a perfect world, if everything comes into, if your data is received to you every day, sure.
It takes 5 minutes a day. Your accounts are up to date. Your reconciliation's done. And it's funny, we just had someone who just joined the back room. Their job, one's marketing, the wife's marketing, and then the husband is money. And every day he gets up.
Oh, reconciles his bank account.
Well, he has a coffee.
Oh, he's a man after my own heart.
And he doesn't want to get rid of it because he goes, it keeps me close to the numbers. Yeah. And I'm like, dude.
Fair. I could argue on that one.
Yep, so bank rec every day or Monday.
Let's call this a cutoff for everything to be reconciled. If you want to get up every day and reconcile your bank account over coffee, but you skip a few here or there that you don't have invoices for, let's call Monday the day where you sort out those last few stragglers and it is done.
Great.
Okay, bank account, done. Now, the other thing we need to do is make sure we paid out payroll.
Oh yeah, what day's payroll?
Well, they generally pay around Tuesday if they have a Sunday end date, so we have to make sure that's done.
Now, talk to me about payroll weekly, fortnightly.
I'm a fan of weekly.
Same.
For cash flow purposes.
Now, I'm also a fan of when you do your payroll, pay your super on the same day, and I take the PAYG and put that up into your PAYG account.
100%.
Straight away, okay? So don't just go, my payroll's 12K, but I only have to pay 9K today, I'll sort the rest out. Or I don't have any more money. If you don't have any more money, it means you're losing money and you need to reach out for help. Now, I'm gonna be really honest with you. This is a segue here. This is a segue. The longer it takes you, there's an old Japanese saying, if you get on the wrong train, the sooner you get off, the easier it is to get home. It sounds actually way cooler than that. But if you're losing money this week and then you're losing money next week, I promise you it's only going to get worse unless you make a change. And the longer you leave it to reach out, the worse it's going to get. And we'll talk about that later. So, all right, so payroll. So Monday's bank rec day, Tuesday's payroll day. Oh, sounds like a lot.
We're okay. We've got all our expenses in. Mm-hmm. We have got all our bank reconciled. We've done our payroll.
Cool.
That's our 3 key things we have to have done.
All right. And then we print out reports.
Yep.
There's a couple of things here. Payroll. How do you do the payroll?
Well,
because I feel like
it's more a question about how do you want to roster.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because the software now is more around saving you time on the rostering. The payroll section, a lot of them push straight into Xero or QuickBooks, and that part ultimately stays the same.
Okay.
But the deputies of the world and the employment heroes of the world are the top picks. There are some much cheaper options now that you can pay $20 a month for that mainly manage the rostering. The reason I usually point people to Deputy is because it tracks the award. Okay, so the award goes up at 1 July.
Okay.
Deputy will track the award, which
right.
I think is super important in our industry.
So pick something that's going to track the award or your rostering.
That's definitely my preference, yeah.
Okay, and they're all different prices, right?
They are all different prices. One of them does onboarding and does all your onboarding documentation, and it does the rostering, and it does the payroll, whereas there's heaps of options now.
Yeah. Now, just to be clear, we don't align ourselves with any software. We don't get paid to recommend any software. And we could have made heaps of money by building software and aligning and doing partnerships. And the reason why we don't is because I've always been a big believer that it's not always a one-size-fits-all approach.
No, it's definitely not.
I think there's different software which absolutely excels for different people in different businesses. And I think there's other software that is absolutely terrible for some businesses, or it might work really well for the business, but absolutely terrible for for the owner because the owner might be, just different. So you got to pick something that's going to work for you. And I promise you, not at every single one of them is not perfect. There's always going to be a problem somewhere. So you just got to do what's best.
All right. Well, that gets us to the point where we can look at our numbers.
Okay. And if we're going to look at numbers, what numbers are we going to look at? What about daily reporting? What about the reporting for the business? Do your team have anything to do with that, or that's a different conversation?
No, we don't do the daily reporting with the members. We only manage the weekly.
All right, cool. So we might do another class on reporting so you know what reports to look at and why. Yep. Cool. So, and then weekly reporting, do you do the reporting for them?
No. So what we do is get the data to the point and say, we're ready to go. Because then it's on them to pull their figures and actually look at it. And then they have to go through their KPIs, okay? And that gets them close to their numbers.
Okay.
Because obviously they're hands off to here.
Yep.
So this is their one point to look at it and go, all right, cool, this is what's happened.
Yeah, okay. Now, the other thing that you got to realize is don't look at an unreconciled bank account. Don't look at any reports if your bank account's not reconciled, the data's not in there.
If you don't have your supplier invoices in, you've got a week's worth of PFD invoices, they're not in your Xero file, then this is no good.
Now, you're talking between cash and accruals.
This will default to an accrual profit and loss, meaning if your supplier invoices aren't in, then they won't reflect in your P&L.
Okay, can we talk about the difference between cash and accrual?
Yes. So when we do our KPIs in the coaching, we always run an accrual profit and loss. So what we're doing in an accrual profit and loss, and the whole goal with our reports is to look at what income came in for that week and what expenses we incurred to create that income. Okay, so an accrual P&L allows us to review all the expenses from the suppliers that came in that period. Okay, so not the expenses you paid, the expenses you incurred. So if you've got 5 PFD invoices in that 1 week, you haven't paid them yet, you're on 14-day terms, you'll pay them in 14 days' time. Those invoices will pop up in this P&L. Your income for this week, dependent on if your income's integrated, which at this point it probably isn't, and I don't blame you, but we need to look at our sales report out of our POS and line that up as well, okay? That is quite complicated in itself.
So what you need to understand is there's two types of P&Ls. First is an accrual one, and second is a cash one. So when Kyle is saying they run it on accrual, it means that all the income that was each daily sale is put in there, and then each invoice that's been coming this week is in there as well, along with the labor for the week also. So that accrual P&L is going to give you a better look of your actual numbers. Now, that's what this Xero defaults on. What a lot of people do is when they reconcile, they don't load in their invoices and they run on what we call a cash P&L. Now, what a cash P&L means that a cash P&L is only reflective what comes in and out of the bank account in that week.
What was paid.
Yes. So if you had cash that was reconciled on a Monday, it might have been from Friday last week as your FPOS drops. So what happens is your income ends up being a few days out.
Goes this way.
And just say you had a bunch of bills that happened, but they missed the cutoff date, and then you paid them the next week, then the bills don't reflect the week that it happens in. So you end up with this skewed cash profit and loss. Now, that's probably not too much of a problem if you're looking at your numbers over a 12-month period, because it's only going to be out a week either side. But if you start looking at your numbers weekly, monthly, like you should be, like certainly weekly and definitely monthly, definitely quarterly, what you're going to find is if you're reporting on cash, you're always going to be behind in the numbers and you're not seeing a true reflection of what's going on. Yeah,
and you'll find ebbs and flows. 1 week you'll look like you made a heap of cash, and the next week you'll pay your PFD invoice and it'll be, $10,000 and you'll have made no money, and you'll be like,
and what happens is your emotions go up and down with that too.
Yes.
So this is going to allow you to do that. This is good. What do you see the key mistakes are when people come to you as bookkeeping clients?
Well, this is the least fun part, so people tend to avoid it. So I get a messy situation or a situation without much data that I need to clean up because people avoid this because it's not fun and shiny.
Dog just went past. See, even I'm tuning out. I get it. I'm interested in how many views we have. How do we make this beautiful?
That's what I see. People avoid this because it's not a fun fit out. It's not a pretty menu that they get to design.
Yeah.
I'm not super exciting.
Yeah. I think what happens is it's like your weight and your diet when it's unchecked. The longer you leave it, the worse it gets. And then all of a sudden, when you decide to lose weight, you're trying to run along 10 kilos heavier and you're like, why the fuck did I do this?
Why?
And so this is what happens. So people leave it too long, you end up taking over a mess, and then you got to clean it up.
Yeah, which is fine. Happy to clean up a mess. But what comes with a mess is often overdue ATO debt or just getting yourself out of a hole with the ATO is pretty stressful and it's hard. So if you can do things to keep yourself out of that situation by paying attention to this from day one, then...
Yeah, because that's the next thing. This gets behind, ATO then gets behind, ATO gets behind, and then what we usually find when people come into the coaching is that they're so far behind, we spend the first 18 months just catching them up.
Yeah, and they have that fight or flight feeling all the time, and every decision they make is based around that fear rather than comfort.
This here is super important. I know it's boring. I get it. I totally get it. I used to be an accountant. There's a reason why I'm not anymore. What other things do you see people have problems with, or what you see when they come in, other than the fact that they've left it so long?
Some people will overthink it.
Make it harder than what it needs to be?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes?
Getting started, getting moving is the most important. And I generally say to people, just get moving. Once you're moving, we refine one bit at a time.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Okay? The most important thing is that you're getting the data in and you look at the data.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
What's the point of doing all this if you're not going to look at it?
Yep.
Yeah.
What else?
That's the main one. Most people just don't look at it.
Okay. If you're in that situation, you're not looking at it and you're like, oh man, I just got to get it up to date, and you're not happy with the bookkeeper, you're not doing it, I'm going to suggest that you just click on that link. We're going to put this below in the show notes. Just get into a direct chat with Kylie and talk about what that looks like to work with each other. If you're starting out, certainly message in. We're happy to share that chart of accounts with you and get you moving the cheapest possible way. But can I just tell you this? You set up a business because you want to do amazing things with the community. You want to bring your creation and your love and your joy out there. You still deserve to make money. And this is no different than having a sanitized kitchen and proper storage and all the things right and beautiful plates and beautiful cutlery. The neater this is on the back end, I promise you, the more successful you're going to be.
I 100% agree.
All right, that's it for this week. Kylie, thank you. Thank you for making bookkeeping fun. Woo! See you on the next one.